Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
It's a big break for investigators. They have found the car involved in a hit and run that killed a road construction worker. The details next.
This afternoon, the nation takes a pause to remember Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She spent more than a quarter century on the U.S. Supreme Court in a career guided by the fight for equality.
It is the rare prophet who not only imagines a new world, but also makes that new world a reality in her lifetime.
Today, we say goodbye to a pioneer, a tireless crusader for the rights of the marginalized, a woman the NAACP honored with the title, a North Star for Justice.
You are looking at live pictures of the Supreme Court this noon, where the justice's body is lying in repose so that members of the public can pay their respects. The life and legacy of the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg tops our show here at noon. Ginsburg died on Friday due to complications of metastatic pancreatic cancer. She was 87 years old. She served on the Supreme Court for more than 27 years, and this morning, friends, family, colleagues all honored her at a ceremony inside of the court.
Her voice in court and in our conference room was soft, but when she spoke, people listened.
Justice Ginsburg will lie in repose today and tomorrow so that members of the public can pay their respects. On Friday, her casket will then be placed in the National Statuary Hall in the U.S. Capitol. Ginsburg will become the first woman in the United States history to lie in state.
May she rest.
We are also following more breaking news from the NFL. Chicago Bears Hall of Fame running back Gale has died. Nicknamed the Kansas Comet, Sayers was a two-time All-American at Kansas and a College Football Hall of Fame inductee. He was drafted by the Chicago Bears in 1965. He tied an NFL record with 6 touchdowns in a game and set another with 22 touchdowns in his rookie season. Relatives of Sayers say that he was diagnosed with dementia. Sayers died today at the age of 77. Also breaking this noon, police have arrested the driver and identified the bicyclist involved in a deadly hit-and-run crash in Ray Township. Sheriff's deputies say that 53-year-old Joseph J. was riding his bike on Tuesday near 27 Mile and Romeo Plank when he was hit. He later died from his injuries. Investigators say that the driver didn't stop at the scene. A 46-year-old Ray Township man was taken into custody this morning. Police say that he could be arraigned on charges tomorrow. It is a break for investigators. They have found the car involved in a hit and run that killed a construction worker in St. Clair Shores. 26-year-old Zach Morissette was hit by a car while doing road work along I-94 near 9 Mile on Monday afternoon, and the driver never stopped. But we do want to get to Local 4's Larry Spruill with the very latest on the developments of at least a lead to find out who was behind the wheel.
Yeah, good afternoon, Rhonda. A huge lead. Now, there is a lot of information in regards to that accident that happened here on Interstate 94 in St. Clair Shores earlier this week. Now, it has really affected a lot of our viewers, including police officers and even construction workers. Now, police tell us that a lot of people have called in. They received numerous tips since that accident happened, and we now know that they have found the car of that driver that hit and killed that construction worker. Now let's take a look at some of the video from earlier this week of that scene that we have. Now police said 26-year-old Zach Morissette was killed when a vehicle hit him around 3 o'clock Monday afternoon. Now he was working with the Macomb County Department of Roads crew putting down a patch to fix a broken manhole cover. Now, police said the driver never stopped, and they have been searching for the vehicle and driver since then. Again, they found the vehicle, and police are still looking for the driver. We spoke to Michigan State Police earlier today about the investigation. Take a listen.
I don't want to get into a lot of details of it because we don't have the driver yet. We're kind of working towards that process now, but we do have the vehicle. We do have some things with the vehicle that is pointing us to an individual. So kind of like I've always said during this time, if you're that driver, be it he or she, come on in.
And again, the good news is they found the vehicle, so they do have that information to go off of. Now, we do have another live report coming up tonight at 5 o'clock, but of course, if you know anything about this case, just give police a call. We're live in St. Louis Shores this afternoon. Larry Spruill, Local 4.
Larry, thank you. As we continue to move closer to Election Day, the FBI is warning that Americans could be targeted with waves of disinformation about election results. The FBI says that foreign actors and cyber criminals are expected to prey on Americans looking for election results. The agency says that disinformation could be spread during the time it takes to certify results to raise doubts about the legitimacy of your votes. The FBI recommends that Americans turn to trusted sources like elected officials for accurate reports of election results this year. Here is a look at your coronavirus headlines. The state is reporting 504 cases, new cases in the past day, and also 15 more deaths reported during that time as well. On the national front, the United States has surpassed 6,899,000 confirmed cases, with more than 200,000 people that have died from this virus in our country. These numbers are from the Johns Hopkins University database. Here are some numbers to put this all into perspective. The total U.S. death toll is more than the number of Americans killed in the battle in the 5 most recent wars combined: the Korean, Vietnam, Iraq War, the war in Afghanistan, and the Persian Gulf War. Globally, 3 people died every minute from the coronavirus yesterday. Meantime, the U.S. health officials are worried about a fall surge of the coronavirus cases as the country heads into the cold and flu season.
God bless the U.S.
President Donald Trump spoke to a packed campaign rally in Pittsburgh, giving himself top marks for his administration's handling of the pandemic. At the same time, the nation reached a tragic milestone.
We did an A+ job, except we did a D job in terms of public relations explaining it because we were too busy doing it.
In reality, the coronavirus has killed over 200,000 Americans in the United States since March, and health experts stress it didn't have to be this way.
If we had done what a large number of other countries have done, take the virus seriously, implement public health measures, 80–90% of those people would be alive today. That is a tragedy, and it's a travesty.
Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden tweeting, "There's a devastating human toll to this pandemic, and we cannot forget that." President Trump saying it could have been worse.
Well, I think it's a shame. I think if we didn't do it properly and do it right, you'd have 2.5 million deaths.
Dr. Anthony Fauci warning people to take safety guidelines seriously as the new cases grow in at least 22 states over the past week.
I would like to have seen the baseline of where we are, the daily number of infections, come way, way down and not be stuck at around 30 to 40,000 per day, which is where it is right now. That's unacceptable, and that's what we've got to get down before we go into the more problematic winter.
Also, President Trump continues to stick to his promise of a vaccine around Election Day. However, the FDA is considering new safety rules for an emergency authorization, likely pushing a vaccine past November 3rd. Johnson & Johnson has announced its vaccine candidate has begun the final stage of clinical trials in the United States. The company aims to enroll up to 60,000 adults in 8 countries, including the U.S. Unlike other vaccines, which will require 2 doses 1 month apart, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine can be given in just 1 dose. The vaccine also does not need to be frozen. If the vaccine is proven to be safe, the company expects the first batches to be available for emergency use authorization in early 2021. So let's go outside and see just how beautiful it is. And we are dealing with a nice, warm, sunny day. Brandon is watching over our forecast from his home studio, and I can see the sun all aglow out there. And somebody, one of your neighbors, celebrating a birthday. They're getting a shout out too. Just for being in your shop.
Yes. Happy birthday, Evelyn. Yes, the neighbors with 4 little ones celebrate and celebrate often. I guess you have to with 4 kids. We have a beauty of a day today. It is bright sunshine as we're looking down toward the Ambassador Bridge and the Detroit River. We have low to middle 70s, 74 Ann Arbor, 76 Monroe, 72 at Metro. We'll see temps getting into those middle upper 70s over the next couple of hours, and then right around 80 degrees this afternoon with mostly sunshine. We will see an increase in some cloud cover later tonight coming from the remnants of Beta and another cold front coming at us tomorrow. So we'll explain the impacts of that as we try to hang on to summer now that fall has begun. Rhonda?
All right, Brandon, thank you. Still to come, it has been an emotional day in Washington today. Remembrances for the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg continue. President Trump and Senate Republicans, though, are moving full speed ahead to fill her seat. Next, we take a closer look inside the politics surrounding her replacement. And a quick programming note before we go to break, one of the funniest men on TV is going to be joining Ellen today as her fall premiere week continues. Watch for Alec Baldwin on the Ellen DeGeneres Show today at 3 right here on Local 4. We'll be right back.